I am a registered nurse, and I had a shift that lasted for 12 hours that night. 2 months before, the individual had had a flu shot and, very immediately afterward, experienced bilateral dilated eyes. Subsequently, the individual had abnormal weight gain in the final few hours before experience happened. After using up all of the asthma medicine that I had, I recalled asking my kid to urgently contact emergency services. I have no memory of what happened after that until I awoke in the intensive care unit a few days later. My tale, which I will now copy and paste because the anoxia is making it difficult for me to follow it. On February 8, 2019, I went into cardiac arrest. It took the emergency medical technician around 20 to 30 minutes to get my pulse going again after I had no pulse, was unable to breathe, and went without oxygen until after they came. During that little period of time, I lacked any recollections. The only thing that came into view was a black record, comparable to a 45 revolutions per minute disc, with a piece cut out of it in the shape of a pie. That 45 revolutions per minute record made of plastic reflected my existence. After that, I arrived in my heavenly place. My ability to remember things didn't return to normal until the oxygen levels in the room reached a higher level. I disagreed with people who were on the opposing side, telling them that as a very spiritual person, I ought to have had an experience in which I passed through a tunnel, saw a light, and encountered departed loved ones as well as angels. I did not experience any of the near-death experiences that people talk about or that we read about in books or hear about in movies. Nope. Beings from the other side of the veil contacted with me and said that the reason I did not have any memories was due to the fact that my oxygen levels had completely dropped. This was due to the fact that my asthma, respiratory failure, and myocardial infarction all robbed more and more oxygen from my body's tissues and bloodstream over time. They provided me with the equation, which read as follows: Earth time plus oxygen equals memories. I had no recollections. After I came to and had some oxygen, the first thing that came to my mind was a pool that was used for washing. The pool looked like volcanoes, crimson lava, and human brains being agitated. My first thought was, am I in hell? No, this is a purification pool, and any negative ideas that enter here will be eliminated. Without being restored to your previous state, you won't be able to move forward. In order for me to ascend, there were several instances that we went back to the cleaning pool. Following the completion of the initial scrubbing, we then moved on to the dirt. It was explained to me that the quantum physics that lies underlying the beautiful hues and ionic composition of our planet's soil. It was unbelievable. After that, I went back to have another cleansing done. After that, I was shown the artifacts and monuments that may be found on Earth, including those in Egypt, Peru, pyramids, hieroglyphs, stones, and Samaria. After that, I went to the pool of purification a further 3 times. This time, we traveled up into the clouds and the skies. We traveled to the Pleiades as well as the belt of Orion. There, I pleaded with them to remain within the Milky Way galaxy. On the other hand, we did not remain there. We traveled there in order to view the edge of the cosmos. There, I witnessed the Elohim bring into existence a brand new world. It was fantastic in every way. I had never seen anything quite like those hues before. The designs were derived from the Fibonacci sequence, which is responsible for the overall structure of the cosmos. Because my mind was struggling to keep up with the fascinating pattern's rapid expansion, I was frequently forced to avert my gaze. In any case, this is the reason for my death, not my near death, but rather my exit from this world altogether. On February 9, 2019, while I was a patient in the intensive care unit, I experienced so many different visions continuously. Because there were so many images, I became exhausted from sensing them, and they refused to stop happening. The visions continued for a couple of days in total. Images such as star charts with binary codes, the world broken down into its constituent protons and neutrons, and monuments were some of the things that were shown in the visions. I had encounters with extraterrestrial life forms, or aliens, that were not indigenous to Earth. These were or I should say, my Elohim. As a result of going without oxygen for a period of time, my brain is jumbled, and my ideas are moving at a snail's pace. Nevertheless, the visions were crystal clear, incredibly exact, and spot on, despite the fact that they were not obvious to me in the traditional sense. I was aware of their intended meaning. In this extremely vast cosmos, we are not the only beings that exist. We are linked together. Love is the only glue that holds us together. We are unable to function normally without its impacts. Never let this slip your mind. Despite the fact that we all come from distinct DNA and are descended from various Elohim, Our ancestors possessed unfathomable levels of brilliance, intelligence, and presence. They had complete control over us and shaped us as they saw fit. What does it mean to refer to Jesus as Yeshua? It exceeds the manipulation of the Bible in scope and significance. It demonstrates humans' desire to exert authority over other humans by imposing fictitious restrictions, regulations, and absurdities that are designed to instill dread in everyone. Elohim, sometimes known as God, is love. We were fashioned by the gods.